NBA playoffs, man. First of all, let me salute the NBA. Obviously, we've had some super duper blowouts, the likes that we have not seen in a very long time. But we've also had a lot of entertaining basketball we played. We've had, dunking buzzer beaters. We've had
Like
what happened
last night.
last night with Milwaukee, a 7 point lead with 30, I think 35 seconds left, and they blow the game to get sent home for the season. We've had a lot of really good games. So I guess let's start with, I think tonight we got what
Yeah. Houston and Golden State starts in 2 minutes.
and then we also have, and then the nightcap is LA and
Yep.
and Minnesota.
Mhm.
Um I want to go back to game 4 of Houston and Golden State, and I'll ask you this. Tell me you agree with this. Draymond Green should have been kicked out of that game.
So he got a flagrant and a technical. That doesn't you're not kicked out if you get a flagrant one and a technical, which is news
They
to
did
me.
not give him a technical for that one. They only gave him a flagrant, which allowed him to stay in the game. Had they called it a
Right.
technical, a double tech, he would have been kicked out of the game.
Right. So he had gotten a technical earlier,
Correct.
and then he got a flagrant for because so
Kicking.
like I said, I didn't know. I thought it was mix and match, like when you go to the store, it's like, I thought you could get a technical and a flagrant and you're gone. Like I was when he put his his jumper on or his warm up, I'm like, oh, why is he still sitting on the bench? I'll say this much. Listen, that slow motion is a hell of a drug. Everybody knows slow motion cameras is a hell of a drug. All right. You can watch just about anything. I didn't think that when he rolled over that he kicked down on Tari Eason's head. Okay. I didn't think that he did that or whatever. However, when Tari Eason ripped him, like he grabs Tari Eason's jersey on the flip side, you know what I mean? He's doing Draymond Green things, you know what I mean? That are just like bro, like what are we talking about here, And so then Tari Eason, shoves his legs to the side and grabs Tari Eason's jersey from here, and it's just almost like, you know who you are, like already one technical in, like what, like, so I definitely thought he should have been out of there, but I didn't think that the actual rolling over and kick down on his head was like when they slowed it down, it looked like he kicked him in the back of the head, but I didn't think you could really make much of that. But Draymond Green's not going to code switch, right? He's gonna beat Draymond Green apparently on the court in the biggest games of the playoffs at the biggest times, and the Rockets know that, and the Rockets got a few guys on their team I like, and they got a few punks that I'm not, like I'm just not sold on them or whatever, and I can't tell if I like the Rockets yet or not, but I don't like Dylan Brooks. I'm not a fan of Sengun. I like Sengun's offense, but I'm not a big
Really?
Sengun fan. Yeah, I like his offense a little bit, and I'm not a Jalen Green is kind of disappointing me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, the guys I like for the Rockets are Amen Thompson, Fred VanVleet, who's always just going to be Fred Van. Listen, if Fred VanVleet goes 7 of 9 from 3-point land, and you're the number 2 seed, you should have won this game by 20
You
points.
should have.
Like, got this man shooting like what?
Shooting lights out. So, and I think that's kind of my main takeaway from the series. They could possibly be the one with the 3-1 lead if they could just make free throws.
Yeah.
You lose a game by 3, and I lost track. I stopped counting, but at a certain point in the fourth quarter, they had missed 10 free throws. They were shooting sub 50% from the line.
Yeah.
While the Warriors were shooting somewhere in the 8, they were like 11 for 12 at some point. And so, like, if you're going to take on a team like the Warriors, like the Warriors are a savvy, like if you go play pickup basketball and you play with the same group sometimes, like when I was a kid, there was this group. I lived in Virginia, and there was this group of older men who we would play against, and like they knew every trick in the book, right? Like, so again, you would blow by them, they would subtly try to tug your jersey to keep you from getting, and it's one of those things where you're not necessarily going to call it, you're going to play through it because it wasn't one of those things where it was enough to slow you down, right? They knew all the little trick shots on the block. They knew exactly how to set a screen perfectly to free up. Right when you play those types of teams, you need everything to go in your favor, and the easiest thing to do is the free throw line. And so they've had two games where they've missed 10 or more free throws, and games that ended up being, a somewhere between 5 to 7 point margin of victory for the Warriors. So if you could just simply make your free throws, you are likely the ones in the driver's seat of this series instead of now. You're not going to beat Golden State this team 3 games in a row. Not without some catastrophic injuries happening to Draymond, Jimmy, or Steph. And even losing one of them, they can still beat you. They did it already, right? They beat them the one game with Jimmy. I think
Jimmy was gone. Yeah, they beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat him. They beat him in one game with Jimmy, but so I mean,
the
Warriors,
Jimmy put together a quiet 24 second half points. Like
he stunk it up in the first half, and I will give the Rockets this, right? They have tried to muck the game up. They've tried to make it ugly, be super physical, and it has worked. Like, this has been a street fight of a series, but you have to capitalize in ways where you can be the one, I guess, leading the charge here. You can be the one dictating the terms in terms of now it's a 2-2 series, now it's a 3-1 series,
Yeah.
and so they're going to go home. We're going to see. We're likely getting Warriors.
Probably T-Wolves, right?
So if I said as this game gets ready to kick off, scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that the Wolves win one more game out of the next 3? 10 being super,
7.
no doubts.
I'd say 7.
7.
With the Warriors, I'm more at a 9.
Yeah, they're done. They're done. They're not going to beat. They would have to beat the Warriors twice on their court.
And that's the crazy thing is the crazy thing is no, it's Houston now, Warriors, and then back to Houston because Houston's the 2 seed, right?
They're 2 seed. You're right.
Yeah, and then the Lakers are the 3,
they're the higher seed. They're the higher seed. So they would have to win at least one game in Minnesota, and then they would get 2 home games if they got to game 7.
Basically this is both the underdog teams getting the 1-1-1. So they're both down 3-1, and Minnesota and Golden State both just have to win 1, but they only have 1 at home. So that makes it a little bit more okay. I'll take it down a little bit. I'll take down to I think my confidence in the T-Wolves is probably at a 6, and with the Warriors is probably like closer to an 8.
That's fair.
Luka and LeBron. You got Luka and LeBron. When I look over at the Rockets roster, I'm like, somebody's got to go off. Who is it? Who's the guy?
And Jalen Green was supposed to be that guy, and it's just not happening.
At all.
It's just not happening.
And our men will come in and get you 10 or 12. Cool. Jabari Smith Jr. get you, 6 or 8 or whatever. But like I said, you're looking at Fred VanVleet to score 26. You're looking at Şengün to get you a 20 and 10 double-double, and you still don't know who is they need one more. And VanVleet's not going to do that every night, Whereas
you wasted the Fred VanVleet game.
I'm saying all this, and I'm going to turn around and bet all my money on Minnesota tonight now because I'm thinking like the Lakers and like Luka and LeBron, like there's a part of it to me that's like, we're not going home tonight. Like, we're not going home tonight. Like I feel very confident about that, which is why I'm going to turn around and bet the money on the Timberwolves because that's just how my FanDuel account set up.
So I think here's my concern with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have been very Jekyll and Hyde-ish this year. And look, maybe this is one of those styles make fights, and they have a deep roster. They have a team that is better big men. The Lakers don't have any big men. And so this is just
Jackson Hayes, whatever has been. I don't even know if he's played.
I mean, he gets like the first 8 minutes, and you never see him again.
Yeah,
they just play small the rest of the time.
Luka and Jackson Lob, like that stuff has not been here for the playoffs. No, that's not.
So hold on. So hold on, Ursula. I'm gonna get to that question in just a second. So they during the regular season they would win like 5, going to 5-6 game winning streak, right? And then they would drop like 3 in a row, with 2 of the losses being to like the Spurs and the Wizards.
Yeah.
And just go, wait, guys, what is happening, right? And so again, maybe it is a styles make fights thing, where they just needed to get to the playoffs, and everything switches to 0 on your win-loss record, and you get the right matchup, and the Lakers, who don't have depth, and you do, You play defensively, you play well defensively, and that's all it is. But I can see them dropping the next two very easily.
Do you
Very,
selfishly
very
want
easily.
Lakers and Warriors, or are you like, no, it's Ants time?
I don't
Pass the
care. I don't.
torch.
So no, because like I feel like NBA media is very lazy. And so Lakers Warriors is just easy for them. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to invest in knowing who the players are,
Yeah,
right? Because it's Luca, LeBron, Steph, Draymond. That's easy for them. But
yeah.
having if somehow it was ended up somehow being Rockets, Timberwolves, well now it's like, well dang, I didn't watch them all year. So I didn't start watching Houston until the final month of the season. So now I got to try to cram and figure out who these guys are.
I ain't gonna hurt you.
So I don't.
BP Pajinski, he's benefited a lot off of how they're playing Steph Curry in this series. He has been, one of those guys to watch. And I never really watched the Post kid, and I said that's his last name, Post. You know what I mean? But the Tracy Davis. What was it? Jackson Davis.
Jackson
Like,
Davis.
yeah, he's an afterthought. Like I mean, he went from starting damn near every game. What, 2 years ago or a year ago, to
Yeah,
like he doesn't even play. I would like to see how many minutes a game he gets over the last probably 20 or 30 games, because he's not, you know.
gosh, who is his dad? Who is his father? Because they said that. And I
Dale
went,
Davis,
wait,
right?
what?
Who's Dale
Dale
Davis?
Davis. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dale Davis is his father. So Quentin Post, I believe, was a second team All ACC player at Boston College. He was really good at Boston College. And so he's provided them with a nice little spark, man. Nice little inside outside game. Like to me, this could be the guy that ends up becoming a starter for them down the road. And so good for the Warriors for finding that guy and being able to develop him. So I want to get to this question right quick from Ursami. He goes, I know this is off topic, but KD to the Rockets, would that get them over the hump? Yes, but you still would need more shooting. And what are you giving up? Because if Phoenix is probably not going to want Jalen Green back because that's just, they already got D Book and
They need KD, and
young
they need a Gary Trent Jr. I don't know if you saw Gary Trent.
Oh, he
Jr.
went
yesterday,
bruh. I mean, he had two great games in that series, and then to have it all end at the end when the ball goes between his legs and goes out of bounds. What a heart! Like, bro, that's the type of loss that would make me stop being a fan. Like, I'd be like, I'm done with Milwaukee. Excuse me. But yeah, but like they need more shooters, and that's the one thing they don't have. And so if they had someone who a KD would help them immensely, especially in late game situations, because he's a guy who can get his own shot, who can also create for others. But they would need at least one more guy with a reliable jump shot. And to me, if I'm Phoenix, you're giving up Amen Thompson.
Oh yeah.
Like if he's not to start, if he's not on the table at the beginning of the negotiations, don't call me. Like, don't bother.
Those twins are quietly very, very good. Like they've come on towards the end of the year, and when you're in the playoffs, you get all eyes are on you. They've probably been doing a lot of it all year. But Amen and Asa are both very, very good, and the teams are better when they're on the floor.
They just got to, one, they need to get better at the free throw line. That's number one.
Yeah.
Get better at the free throw line and develop a consistent 3-point shot. I'm not asking them to be Steph Curry or even Anthony Edwards, who I think broke the record for most three. Or no, he had the
Malik
record.
Beasley.
Malik Beasley. Well, Anthony Edwards ended up with the most threes in the season, though, because it was like they had a little back and forth at the end of the season about who would be the leader. But I mean, I'm not asking them to be either of those two gentlemen, but just become respectable. Because then they're so good at driving and especially at finding other players and dishing that it would just open up the rest of the game, open up the rest of the floor to them if you have to respect that 3-point shot from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I'm Phoenix, any discussion with KD starts with him.
Yeah.
Right? I don't necessarily Jabari Smith Jr. I'll take Cam Whitmore off your hands. But those three and picks are that's the starting point.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to start there, then forget it. So yes, KD would be a huge help, especially from the free throw line, especially in the game situations. Sengun, the one thing that frustrates me about Sengun is I feel like, especially when Draymond is on him, it feels like you ever seen that meme of Karl Anthony Towns trying to back down DeMarcus Cousins? And there's like a look of anguish on his face while DeMarcus is like,
yeah.
And you got Karl Anthony, he's like looking. I feel like that Sengun against Draymond, where it's
Yeah.
just he's just not. Yeah, it just
Seems like
he
he's in
gets
his
so
head a little
far.
bit. He seems like he's in his
Yeah,
head a little
and it
bit.
seems like he gets so far and he goes, okay, I can't back him down any further.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's jump talk about some other series right quick before we hop out of here. Knicks and Pistons. Great series, great back and forth. Listen, I have been telling people since probably late December, early
Yeah.
January, the Pistons, every game they play is entertaining. Every
Very
game is
similar to
close.
the Kings, 2 or 3 years ago. You know, when
Yes.
a team that just wasn't, and then they got to the playoffs, and you're like, told you.
So let me say this before I ask this question. I know people give Shea Gilgeous-Alexander the foul merchant tag. No, that really belongs to Jalen Brunson.
Jalen
That is
Brunson. Yeah.
Jalen. I respect the heck out of his story. I respect the heck out of his talent and what he has been able to build for himself. But he is super frustrating to watch, and the referees give him the benefit of the doubt on a lot of calls. There were calls at the end of that Detroit game. They called a charge where he was already falling backwards. His feet were moving. He wasn't set. He got a foul call where Asar swiped down. He didn't touch him. They still gave him the foul call. It's a tough watch for me with him. But your level of confidence that New York can close out the series in Game 6
Yeah, I think New York closes
in
it out.
Detroit. In Detroit. In Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit looks better on the road, honestly, than they have in Detroit. I think New York closes it out, man. I think that secondary superstar of Karl Anthony Towns is just what Detroit is lacking, man. Listen, I always knew Karl Anthony Towns could shoot that thing for like a big or whatever, but dog, that game 2 games ago, that the foul that of course,
Oh my gosh.
Karl Anthony turned into freaking what's Losa always say, TJ Warren in the bubble. Like TJ Warren in the bubble. Like, wait, what? Like Karl Anthony
He
Towns
got
crazy.
busy. The way he closed out that game 4, man, unbelievable. Great. That shot from the corner fading away over the backboard, then hit the logo 3, man. Like,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why the Knicks end up closing out the series.
Yeah.
It sucks
again,
though, because the Pistons, to me, I mean that it was a foul, and it's a foul down 1. You get 3 shots. Like they should be up 3-2 at home. You know what I mean? Like, and that's frustrating.
And I think that's the problem for me when you. So first of all, that particular game was super enjoyable because shout out to the homie Cotton. We used to when he used to ref our games, we used to have this joke about Cotton's not going to call anything in the paint. So you go in, you take your life in your hands when you go to the bucket because
that man didn't blow the whistle when the ball went out of bounds. That's why I knew he wasn't going to blow the whistle on a foul. The ball went out of bounds. He didn't even it was a turnover. He didn't even blow the whistle. He's like, y'all got it.
But like players are going into the paint getting absolutely mauled and there was no whistles. But my issue is on jump shots, you got to call the fouls on jump shots. And y'all give Jalen Brunson everything. So if you're going to give Jalen Brunson incidental contact on jump shots, then you have to call that shot to close the game. And they didn't even wait to the 2-minute report to say we messed up. They went in the locker room and said, yeah, we screwed that up. And so it's just, you can't have that happen. You can't have that happen. I agree. I think the Pistons there's some record, right? They haven't won a home game since the last time they were in the playoffs, which was the end of that new era that they had. So, I mean, I am skeptical that they're going to be able to get the win, even though, Hart was banged up at the end of that game. Obviously, Brunson's dealing with a sprained ankle, but you know what? Actually, I'm gonna support the homie Jesse. I got the Pistons pushing us to Game 7. I do think the Knicks will take home Game 7 in Madison Square Garden.
Rockets are up 12 right now, and they've hit 8 for 8 from the free throw line in the first 5 minutes. So they listened to our advice. They're up 20-8, and they're 8 for 8 from the free throw line. The Warriors have not attempted a free throw yet. So.
Yeah, but I feel like they've also blown a bunch of leads. They'll do this. They'll jump up on the Rockets early. And that's what I say about that series in particular. Both teams have jumped out to sometimes double-digit point leads, and then in the span of like 3 possessions, it's now a 2-point game.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
So, all right, Nuggets Clippers. Do Nuggets close it out?
This is
tomorrow,
think so.
By the way.
Yes, I do think the Nuggets close it out. Jamal Murray, Jokic, man, they're getting good minutes from all their guys. Christian Braun, Brown, my bad. I know it's pronounced Michael Porter. Like, yeah, I just think the Nuggets are the Clippers, a good team. They're definitely a good team. I just don't think that they're there yet. I think they're missing, one more piece. Norm Powell has where's he been? Like, I
Yeah,
think
let's
that,
see. What did he do last week? He only had 12 points in 32
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, we
And he
need
was
we
the
need
sixth
we
man
need
of the
more out of him.
year. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Jamal Murray. Listen, if you follow the at Brains and Bars Twitter page, I put Jamal Murray top 10 bucket getter in the league. Normally in the playoffs, he turns up. He turned up big time last night. 43 points from him in 40 minutes. I mean, it's a long. When you already got the best player in the world on your team, who Jokic only went for 13. But when you
Yeah.
have the best player in your world
Yeah,
on your
triple double.
team
I
and
mean, yeah, he didn't have a good
triple
offensive
double,
game at all.
Russ had 21 points in 25 minutes. Like when you getting contributions, Aaron Gordon goes for 23, right? So we're
That
talking
actually
about
might be kind of like Russ going for 21 because I don't think he's going to go for 21 again. You know what I mean? But Aaron
yeah.
Gordon, Aaron Gordon is another guy that gets you buckets when you need them.
But I mean, those three guys go for 87 combined points. Like it's going to be a long night for you if those three guys are going for 87 points.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so I'm going to go this one. This series has been so entertaining. I'm going to hope for a seventh game because it's been the best first round series of them all thus far.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
this last
let's
night's game was the first kind of, I guess, blowout, as you
Yep.
would call it, but every other game has just been must watch TV.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that's it. That's all the series. The Milwaukee.
You think
I'm,
Giannis
you
is
know.
gone or what's the, like?
So I want to close the show on this. Hold on, let me pull this up because Marcus sent this to me. I got to get into Telegram to actually get to Twitter so I can get it.
Don't pull the group chat up, bro. Don't put it live on the. Don't pull the group chat up.
I am not going to pull the group chat up. Hilarious. So this is from Bleacher Report. And they list 4 different destinations that Giannis, or 3, I'm sorry. Here are 3 teams that Giannis, let me know when you can see that.
I can see it. So
So
Rockets, Thunder, and Warriors.
Rockets, they would give up Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepard, Cam Whitmore, and 3 first-round draft picks. That's actually a really great haul
Right.
for Milwaukee to really reset their team. The Thunder will offer Isaiah Hartenstein, Cason Wallace, Nikola Topic, and 4 first-round picks. And then the Warriors would just give up Jimmy Butler and 2 first-round
Yeah,
picks.
we know that Warriors is not happening.
I'm not even sure why they even put that on there. I think they just
Yeah.
did that for clicks.
Yeah. I'm like, engagement
So
farm.
of those 4, like which one makes the most sense to you?
The
Or 3,
Rockets,
excuse me. I keep
definitely.
saying 4.
Yeah, no,
Interesting.
the Rockets. That makes the most sense for Milwaukee. Like, I'm not. I mean, Cason Wallace is a defensive player. I don't know Nikola Topic like that.
He gets no burn for real.
Yeah, the Thunder's 4 picks now. I mean, I don't know what those look like. Are they from other teams? I mean, because the Thunder's picks are never going to be lottery picks, right? Like, I mean,
They are from. I'm pretty sure those 4 are going to be from other teams. So let me wrong one. Let me jump to a different one. Thunder, because like they have, I think 2 this year. Well, depending on what happens in the lottery, they can have 2 this year, and they will have, I think, another 2 next year. Let me see. Right now, the Thunder have their 2025 pick. I'm sorry, that's true. They have Miami's 2025 pick, no protections on it. They have a pick swap with the Clippers. They have Philadelphia's pick this year, which is protected 1 through 6. So if Philly somehow lands outside the top 6, that pick goes to OKC. And they
okay,
also, well, no. And then next year they have Utah's pick, which is protected 1 through 8. They have their own. They have it says, oh, that's the second round. Sorry. And then yeah, so they have 3 this year, 2 next year, 2 in 2027. And then finally, that's when they finally kind of start to run out of draft pick, at least multiple first rounders. So again, you're talking about potentially a Dallas, Philadelphia, Denver,
I just
2027,
don't see.
Atlanta, Utah.
I think Milwaukee says, "Nah, you keep Casey Wallace. We want Jalen Williams." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's fair. That's fair. So maybe selfishly, I thought that the OKC Thunder made the most sense.
mhm,
Because you get Hartenstein, who's a really good big man. You get Casey Wallace, who he's a really good defender, but maybe there's more there, right? Like no one
yeah,
saw Shea Gilgeous-Alexander becoming what he became. Maybe he
yeah,
can be your SGA. Topic. I mean, he's got who knows, right? That's the unknown. But the 4 first-round picks, I think you're right though. I did say Oklahoma City, but the Rockets might make the most sense, especially when you're rebuilding, because you get a bunch of young talent. And I think Reed Shepard could be the shooter that Houston needs, but isn't ready yet.
yeah.
And so yeah, I think that's the one. But can you imagine Giannis on the even just if they give up what's on that screen? So you still would have Jalen Williams. You still got Lou Dort. You still have
Like, there's no reason. Like, we have no excuse. We're playing for an NBA title every year for the next 4 years. Like, what are we talking about?
it's canceled Christmas. Because there was also when Denver started to fall apart and they fired Mike Malone, there was like I saw KG and Paul Pierce say, "Hey, well, what if Jokic went to went to OKC?" And I'm like, "Excuse me." I'm like, I normally don't like to even think about these situations because I think it cheapens the product. But like Jokic and OKC, like you said, we're playing for a championship every year.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
stopping us? If you have SGA, Jaden Williams, and you got like and Jokic. But let me say this: I don't think it's going to happen. But I do hope that Giannis comes out and says, "I'm not going anywhere." And at that point, I'm going to remove this off the screen because I don't want to think about it anymore. I hope Giannis says, I'm committed to the Milwaukee Bucks, and I hope that they build a team around me that can compete for titles. And here's why. Look at Dame Lillard. Everyone came out and said, you got to leave, Dame. You got to leave Portland. You deserve better. You're never going to win a championship there. So he finally acquiesces to the outside pressure. He leaves everything. He loves Portland. He still has a home there. His support system still stays there. Goes to Milwaukee. It's not what he thought it was going to be, right? They haven't been out the first round in the 2 years he's been there. I think they might have got gentleman swept the first year, gentleman sweep again this year, and now you've torn your Achilles. Portland has started to build a roster. It's not championship level yet, but there are some very intriguing pieces on that roster, right?
mhm,
You could have stayed there. They could have still built that around you, and you could have been happy.
yeah,
Versus you've chased this chip. Listen, we think, right, on paper, Giannis to OKC, instant title contender. Like you said, multiple title contender. It's not guaranteed. And so instead of chasing the ring, I hope he simply says, you know what? I'm gonna shut down all the speculation right now. If the Bucks trade me, it will be because they have made the decision to move on from me, not because I have requested anything. Stay where
yeah.
you at, man. He likes Milwaukee, he enjoys the city. Stay there, bro. Don't move. Don't leave because the grass ain't always greener on the other side. So,
Yeah.
any final thoughts?
No, I think Milwaukee also needs to make him know. I mean, I think that he knows. I mean, his little post game speech after Halliburton's dad did and everything. Like it seems to me that Giannis is a good dude, man. He's an insane basketball player and just seems to be a very solid level headed superstar.
Listen, I know, like in our friend group, you all like to kind of hold me up as like some paragon of virtue, and I'm just like a really great guy, and yada yada yada. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not a decent person. But if I would have been Giannis on that court yesterday, and his pops comes out and stands in front of me and holds that flag and starts cursing at me, oh, Malice at the Palace 2 is about to
what
happen.
what
Because
would have been
I
your what would have been your go to finisher? Would it have been an RKO? Would it have been what would it have been?
oh, it's choke slam. I am
Choke
grabbing
slam.
chokes, grabbing him by his throat,
Can you
raising him
imagine
to the
Giannis
sky. Oh
puts
man,
the
like
puts the towel on his chest, folds his hands?
man, throw. He doesn't have hair to throw back, but yeah, man, eyes rolling in the back
No.
of my head. The dead man has made it to Milwaukee. Like, bro, like what, bro? And And y'all, you know how pissed you got to be. I mean, he basically pulled a U in Verb when he goes forehead to forehead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how pissed you got to be to go forehead to forehead with somebody in the moment. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so the fact that he was able to not beat the dog crap out of that man in front of the whole world, like he earned my respect right then and right there. But like you said, to go on to make the comments that he made about, listen, man, I feel like you win with grace, you lose with grace. And so, like,
Yeah.
you know, I want to win. I know sometimes emotions get out of hand. We talk, we squash it, whatever. Man, I'd have been like, oh, what was Samuel L. Jackson said, I forget what's the name of that movie where the racist killed his kids and he ends up killing them. And they're at, or no, the racist killed his kids. I don't think he ends up killing them. But like he's like, what do you think should happen to him? I hope he burns in hell. That would have been my
Yeah.
response. That would have been my response about his father. I hope he burns in hell. Giannis, did you any regret putting your hands? No, and I'll do it again. Bring him in here right now. I'll beat him down again. You know what I'm saying? So I would have turned into D-ball Friday, like straight up. Like I just would have lost it. So
Pacers are a sneaky good team, but they're still a year away. I don't think that they make it past in the next round.
I mean that Cleveland series is going to be really good. And low key, whoever wins Denver, LA against OKC, I got OKC, but that's going to be a sneaky tough game. Tough series for OKC as well because those are two really, really good teams. And LA is a really good coach team. Like, obviously, jury's still out on David Adelman, but man, that's going to be a series. That's going to be a series. And also, I'm looking forward to Boston. And who does Boston face in the second round? Oh, whoever. Well, that's not true. I would rather see Detroit because New York's record against the top teams, I think they only won one game all season.
Yeah.
So I assume that would be a sweep. Unless Karl Anthony Towns starts doing what he's doing in these playoffs. But
Van Vliet's hit 3 threes in the first quarter again. He's going crazy.
Man. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yo, that's been our time, man. We appreciate y'all kicking it with us, hanging out with us tonight. Please remember you can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, searching for It's a Black and White Thing, leaving a comment, give us 5 stars, share the audio version of that. You can also check us out here live on YouTube. We're also live on Twitter, we're live on Facebook from the fan page, as well as my personal page. But search for Brains and Bars. Hit the notification bell, subscribe. Again, talk to us in the comments. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's those boys again. Until next time, it's been a black
and white
thing, man. Hey, yo, Trenches going down this weekend, May 4th. Super duper grudge match. Swamp versus Easy, the black captain. Real quick prediction out the door. Who you got on that?
I got Easy. I think
interesting.
I think he's due for a win. Swamp obviously been more active. Just got done battling chess. I don't want to act
really good battle, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to act like Swamp's, preparing for me. Swamp's going to prepare for me after the Easy battle, obviously. But I would just say, like, Swamp's just is a lot more active, and Easy needs a W. I mean, he needs a win, and they both have good ways of talking to each other. I think Easy's might be a little bit more effective, especially in the trenches, man. I mean, come on now. We know where Easy's playing at home, and yeah.
All right, so tickets and pay-per-view, guttercity.com. You're going to be in the building, man. Go to guttercity.com over the pay-per-view. That's where you need to go to watch. All right, man. Well, I'll let y'all next week. Y'all be easy.